Gracie, hi there. My name is Mazzy. I'm really excited to have the opportunity to do a tarot card reading for you today. I think it's really awesome that you were interested in having one done. And also very cool of Alyssa and your dad to purchase you one. I think I was probably about your age when I started getting into tarot cards. And it's something that my older sister actually introduced me to, if I recall correctly. Yeah, I think that is how I found out about tarot cards. It was my older sister, and I didn't really understand them at first, but I was very drawn to using them. And so a traditional tarot deck is 72 cards, and there's so many different kinds of decks. Today I'm using this medicine wheel deck for you, and this one's all based around plants and kind of trees and things like that. But yeah, there are major arcana cards in the deck, and there are minor arcana cards in the deck, and each card in the deck represents a different area of your life, or a different area of your emotions, or a different area of sort of motion forward or blockage from the past. And so basically what a reading entails is just sort of focusing in on your energies and pulling cards and kind of just getting messages sort of about what you're going through and what you could be doing better, or, you know, just things that you've fought against and things that you've worked towards and things that you could be working towards more. Please forgive any crazy dog sounds in the background. The dogs are having a really fun time back here because the sun is shining. So I hope that things are going well for you through this whole lockdown thing and the quarantine stuff. I know it's been really crazy. So I just hope you're feeling okay and staying safe, and you know, you're lucky to have such a good family around you. And so I hope you're doing good. Okay. Messages for Gracie. We're going to jump right into it now. I think maybe. Please stop. Stop yelling, sir. He's out of control. He's just a puppy, so he's really crazy still. Hopefully he calms down one of these days. But that is one thing, I think. With this reading, the energy I kind of wanted to start to bring up with you is that you have to try and remember where you're at in your life right now. I know it kind of feels like really overwhelming and really big sometimes, and like this is as bad as it's going to get, or this is as big as it's going to get. But the truth is, you know, you're so young still, and I remember being overcome with like such intense and crazy emotions at that age too. And I do want you to know that maybe it won't get easier, but you will get this broader perspective on things, and you will start to calm down, and you will start to understand things in different ways. And I think just talking about the puppy. Hey, puppy, stop it. Stop that. Sorry, I had to yell at him because gotta try and, you know, nip that in the bud, his horrible behavior. But, yeah, his behavior just reminded me about how me being a puppy and, you know, like, and how you're sort of a puppy in your sense, in a human form, if that makes sense to you. You have so much time to learn and to grow, and just take it slow, you know? Don't be in any rush to grow up, because trust me, it's not that much fun, you know? As much as we want to be grown up when we're younger, I sort of wish I would have cherished more the time I had as a young person. And so I hope that you are, just the energy I'm getting right now, I hope that you are, you know, cherishing that time that you have right now as a young person, and not thinking that you're such in a big rush to grow up and in a big rush to go off and do these things that older people get to do. Because it'll come, you know, and it's going to come really fast. It's going to happen, and you're going to be like, okay, I was searching for this upside down card of the deck, because it turned upside down in the deck. When a card turns upside down in the deck, that's an indicator to me that that's a message for you. Guys, is here. Some cups here. Wands. Swords. Okay, so I got some cards out for you. And we start with the Seven of Wands here. So what the Seven of Wands tells me is that you're working right now. You're working really hard on growing something. And it's something that you're growing from your inner workings, or from your inner creativity, or the inner person that you are. So this is something that's really personal to you. And it's something that you've been kind of working on slowly but surely. It could be a creative project. It could be kind of self-work and understanding yourself and understanding your place in this world more, thinking about what it is I love doing, what are the things I'm passionate about. Do I love singing? Do I love writing? Do I love, horses? What is it that I really love? Those were some kind of vague examples, but you get what I mean. Like, if you love roller skating, go for it. If you love painting and you want to paint giant murals, then you should do that, and you should go for that. That's just what this card is telling me, that there's something growing within you where you have this desire to focus your energy on something and create something big and something beautiful, and you're fully capable of that, is what I see, especially by this next card. The next card I got is a very powerful Major Arcana card, and this talks to me about your energy, which is the High Priestess, which this means that you are a master of your craft. Like, whatever craft you want to go into, or whatever craft that you are putting your energy towards currently, or in the very near future, or kind of have been in the past, you are very good at it. So when you go into something and you do something, whether it's even just something small, like coloring a really nice photo or writing a little short story, like, you go into that and you do that really well, and you do your best, and you do a great job, and it's so cathartic for you. It's such a relaxing and healing way for you to express yourself, and I think that's really important. We all need ways to express ourselves. It's like one of the things that I found, throughout humanity and throughout everyone, is that having these different ways to express ourselves is sort of not only the way we communicate, but the way that we stay here and say, like, I've made it through this and through that, and all the things I've seen and all the things I've done, I'm here now, still doing it. And so that's what this High Priestess really talks to me about. It's just you showing up and you saying, all right, I'm here, I have all this time in my life, and I want to do something with it. And so I think it's important for you right now, the messages I'm getting, is that it's important for you to start to decide what it is you're passionate about as far as work goes. If you want to be an artist, or if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be, a person that delivers mail, like, all jobs are really important. If you want to be an interior designer, if you want to be, a dog trainer, like, there are so many possibilities out there, and there's no job that's more important than the other. The only thing that really differs is the money. So if you want to have a lot of money, which is okay, I feel like everyone kind of wants to have a lot of money in that sense. But we don't need to be excessive about the money that we have. Just having your needs and your basic wants covered, I think that's perfectly fine. And so there are a lot of jobs out there, a lot of cool things you can do that that will give you that security financially, and that sort of, living in the capitalistic world, But also, truly, even much more with this Ace of Cups I'm getting, is that aside from deciding what sort of job you want, definitely decide what kind of person you want to be. So the way that you treat people, the way that you respond to things, I think that's a really important thing to sort of try and think over, because I know being younger, it's sort of like all happening so fast, and it's really hard to see your place in all of it. But if we can take a minute to kind of slow down and meditate a little bit and just kind of clear your thoughts and think, like, okay, how is it that I'm treating the people around me? And how is it that I'm talking to myself? Because the way we talk to ourselves is a really big part of how we manifest things, and how we start to think about things, and how things start to play out in our lives. So when I see this Ace of Cups, it just kind of tells me that there's a lot of emotion within you that sort of wants to be expressed and needs to be expressed, but you're having trouble finding ways to do that are healthy. And so I guess before moving on to the next card, what I want to say about these cards is that it feels like there's a part of you that still needs to believe in yourself a little more, which I know is way easier said than done. But I just want you to know that you are valid of, all the things that you want to do and all the things that you deserve in this life. You are worthy of those things, and you are good enough to have those things and get those things. And it takes a lot of hard work, and it takes a lot of perseverance, and it takes a lot of resilience, but it's all stuff that you can achieve. And so really anything you can put your mind to, I want you to just believe in yourself. I hope that doesn't sound too cliche or silly, but I think that having that belief in yourself is just the number one step to getting anything done. And you have to try and remember that people have hurt you, and people have not always been there for you in the ways that you want them to. Maybe the people we love the most sometimes aren't there for us in the way that we want them to be. Sometimes in our families and sometimes with our friends. And, it feels like there's this betrayal with this Two of Wands here that I've got, that you've been really in your head about. This betrayal that's sort of like, this sort of doesn't make sense to you. This is supposed to be a person that is like there for you and is supposed to, ride for you and like, just someone who's a really prominent figure in your life hasn't always showed up. And so I think when I see these first three cards ahead of the Two of Wands, it just tells me that you have a lot to overcome in a sense of realizing that your worth is not defined by that person, and that your worth is not defined by any person but yourself, and that the work that you're putting in, for yourself, and the work that you're putting in being kind to people and being kind to yourself and just trying your hardest and trying your best to be happy and to cultivate happiness for yourself and those around you. I think that that's all stuff that should be focused on. And, realizing that we can't control the people that have hurt us and we can't change them. All we can focus on is ourselves, and all we can worry about is our paths ahead. And so things haven't always gone the way we wanted them to, in our relationships. But moving forward, building relationships with the people you have, treating them with kindness and treating them with respect, I think that's something I really wish someone would have said to me when I was your age. And so from this message, I'm really getting that I wanted to say that to you. Kind of slow down and think about, the way you treat your sister, for example, or the way you treat your teachers, for example, when you are at school. I don't know if it's probably summer right now, actually, duh. But, when you are at school during the year, and the way that you treat your parents, your father and, Alyssa and, your mother and that sort of stuff, kind of don't think about it in this way of like, if they're having a hard time or if they're having a hard day, sometimes people are just having a hard time and a hard day. So try not to always take it personally, and still yourself try and show up and not respond in negative ways to negative things. And I'm not saying there are always negative things going on with your interactions, but we all have, tough, turbulent interactions sometimes. That's just a part of life. And it's something that we have to try and navigate and learn to get through. So what I see is that here from the King of Swords is that you're learning to become this sort of person that lets it roll off of you. When something bad happens to you or when someone's mean to you, you just sort of let it go because you don't feel the need to try and get even. You know that that's not going to help anything, especially karmically, like getting even with someone or doing something mean back to someone or saying something mean back to someone that does that to you isn't going to balance anything out. It's really just taking away from your energy and sort of, creating a red zone for you as far as karma goes. And we just want to keep good things coming towards us in life and keep working towards, the things that we love and our goals and our passions. So that's a lot of what I'm seeing for your reading today. I hope I didn't get too crazy woo-woo out there for you. I know I tend to do that sometimes. We're going to draw a couple more cards here just as clarifiers. I hope that stuff made sense to you. Felt like I moved kind of fast through that. But I want to get your sister's reading done today too, so I hope that you've enjoyed this, and I'm going to shuffle a couple more times and give you an overall clarifier for your messages today. Okay, so I have the Four of Wands. I don't know if you can see that work. I don't know if you've been able to see any of these really. It's really bright out here. But the Four of Wands to me, it's sure to talk about the really strong connections and bonds that you have with the people in your life. So what this card kind of tells me overall is that the bonds you have with the people that you love, your family and your friends, those are really important things in your life. And those are things that are worth working on and worth nurturing and worth taking care of. And this really even talks to me about your relationship with self. So kind of nurturing yourself and taking care of yourself and remembering that, like, you are someone that you love too. You know, we have to spend a lot of time with ourselves. So the better we can treat ourselves, I think the better of a time we'll have. So I hope that you can take those messages into consideration, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day, and thank you so much for your support.